Hey everyone, TJ here with a new video. This time we're going to be talking about what's the best way to learn zombies if you're blind, right? Because the problem that I see some people ask about is how do you learn a map if zombies are chasing you, and right, like can you start a map with just a map and you can learn it? It's like no, you can't. The closest you're going to get is probably Black Ops 4 mutation system. Um, as far as like learning fundamentals and sound design and movement and aiming and all this other like fundamentals of COD Zombies pretty much. Outbreak is a great sandbox for that, as Outbreak is pretty chill and pretty slow. So you have enough time to refocus and re-aim and move and stuff, so you can actually learn how to move in zombies. Because that's the big part is movement, right? And you don't want to ever stand still unless you're in a camping spot set up and ready to go. Um, so in BO4, there's a thing called mutations in which you can customize almost every setting and variable you can think of in Black Ops 4 at the time. So this results in turn down the game a bit.
Are you scared
Anyway,
of me?
so it results in
Marking waypoint coordinates.
the ability to keep zombies slow, keep your points up, keep your health up, like do everything in your power to have open map one, crazy health,
There's a locked door.
regen to where you won't die, and keep the zombies slow, so that way you can actually learn maps. Now the problem is you don't get XP.
Here we are,
You can't do
Ground
anything
Zero.
in customization
Dimensional
except for
gates
limitations,
opening around the world.
which is
Should have known it would come back to some evil Nazi experiment
Sheriff
gone
no one cares
wrong.
about,
That wouldn't be the
no
first
black
time,
people
would
don't
it, Major
care about
Carver? Team,
the XP,
facility entrance
because you
should be
know
just
you'll
ahead.
get once you learn the map. Now, this doesn't work in Cold War or Black Ops 3 because they don't have mutations. So this is more so if you want to play Black Ops 4 mechanics and movement and stuff. Because generally the idea for zombies is pretty similar regardless of what you do. The difference is like the way the movement works in that game or the mechanics work in general. So it's definitely interesting to consider. I was teaching Revision, another one did some Black Ops 4 the other night, or last night in fact, 2 nights ago, and got a couple of headshots, which he's learning. But let's say, and one of the things he said first off was like fighting games are easier. It's like, yeah, they're easier to get into. Like all it is a 2D environment, back and forth. You're done. COD and any shooter, right? Any action that's like actual 3D environment, moving around, actually worry about your going. Same with this is with Diablo 3 as well. But the idea is like it's gonna be harder because you have actually to worry about your movement and aiming and positioning and other things instead of, oh, let me just back and move punish you, right? Not to say fighting games are simple and easy, but like as far as like playing it blind, you're gonna struggle more with anything like COD or Resident 6 or Resident Evil 6 or like Last of Us, like even Last of Us 2 and some people struggle with that even with all that accessibility. So it's like you're gonna struggle a lot. But you just put in time and practice and patience and training just like you would in any other game, and you're good to go. Like, and it doesn't, it of course it helps when you have, you know, great headsets and sound design. So like for Cold War, at least from what I remember, there is a clear difference between PS4 version of Cold War and the PS5 version with the audio on and off. So like the base PS4 sounded pretty good. But then I go to PS5 version with 3 audio off, sounds better. 3 audio on, sounds better than that. So like there's definitely a stepping stone of sound quality. Now, even on a base PS4, you can still run Cold War, Black Ops 3, Cold War 2, any COD pretty much, you can still run it. And it'd be easier than the other CODs because it sounds fine.
Move on my waypoint. Setting rally point.
So let's go get stamina up. Since I'm here, that's not stamina, that's where the pawn's at, so we're back here. Nice thing is with the sound, you can hit against the wall, so you kind of move each point of where you're at. Kinda cool. Now, if it doesn't, then I'll just run and get back. I'll try to. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Dude, you can just feel a difference once you apply stamina up. I think my stamina's here for. Anyway, the original point I was trying to make was that if you're fully blind or visually impaired and you want to try and get into COD Zombies, Black Ops 4 is probably your best bet, and Cold War is your best bet for those reasons. You have Outbreak, which is a much larger experience, slower paced, more chill. You have time to focus and pay attention to sound design and get nuances and details that can help you get information about the game. And then for Black Ops 4, you have Mutations, which Mutations, if you can remember the menus enough to set it up, you can keep yourself essentially immortal. Not realistically, I don't think eventually you will die, but you can make it so you have crazy points, you can make zombies slow forever, like you can do stuff in Mutations to make it easier. The Black Ops 3 is harder because the sound design's older and it doesn't sound as good as BO4 or Cold War. But BO3 might have the best map selection of all the games because you have Origins, Nocturne Totem, the Giant, Drak, Gorod Grovey, like all the greats, right? And you got, not to mention Kino and Ascension, like you got everything really good in BO3. As far as maps go, BO4 is fairly good. Generally, the map I play the most is Classified, because yes, one map, sure, but you can memorize the map, you can get things done on the map, you can push rounds, you can do different difficulties, there's still plenty to do. The other maps I've tried and liked were Ancient Evil and Blood of the Dead. Dead of the Night was cool, but there's just too much for Dead of the Night, there's too much, even for a blind person. And then Alpha Omega was okay, Tag Drone was okay. And then for Cold War, for regular round-based maps, you have Die Maschine, Firebase Z, Forsaken, and Mauer der Toten. Generally, the community has said that Die Maschine and Mauer are like the standout maps. And Firebase is kind of meh, and Forsaken's meh. Generally, for a blind person, I'd say Die Maschine's your best friend, just for getting your fundamentals down, if you want to just play regular zombies. Excuse me. Firebase works as well. I don't know. Cold War in general is just easier to jump into. Like, it's a easier experience for zombies generally, except, like I said, Mutations in BO4 with casuals and stuff. Anyway, point being, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys found this insightful, I guess. And, yeah, hope it makes more sense. And as far as the previous clip should be the one where I'm training, I know how to train. I just don't train, usually, just because the likelihood of getting stuck on shit is too damn high. So that's my excuse for being a scrub. So yeah, thanks. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys on next I really can't support it.
appears KIA.
To a jug, and I'm gonna end it.